In the village of Omiela, where the red earth glowed like fire at sunset, there lived a girl whose beauty was spoken of far and wide. Her name was Adana, and she was known as the Cowrie-crowned one. Adana was strikingly curvy, her movements flowing like a slow river. Her skin gleamed as dark as polished mahogany, and her hair was braided with countless cowries that shimmered in the sunlight, clicking softly like tiny drums as she walked. But these were no ordinary keys. They were said to hold the blessings of her ancestors, a gift to her mother from the river goddess Olokun. The goddess had whispered a secret: "Let no envy touch this child. The spirits will guard her, and those who seek to harm her will see their darkness turned upon themselves." Adana grew under this divine protection, her spirit as beautiful as her form, radiating a kindness that touched everyone she met. However, in Omiwela, not all hearts were pure. Envy festered in the shadows, particularly in the hearts of three girls, Chika, Ngozi, and Alordo. They had long envied Adana's beauty and the admiration she received. Their jealousy burned like dry brush in the Harmattan winds. They whispered to each other, their words laced with venom, plotting to end not just Adana's beauty, but perhaps even her life. Their campaign of malice began with small, cruel acts. First, they tried to trip her on the winding path to the river, hoping she would fall and injure herself. But Adana, with her graceful balance, stepped over the hidden vine as if she knew it was there. Next, they tried to poison her yam porridge with bitter herbs that would cause sickness and pain. Yet, a sudden gust of wind blew out their cooking fire, and the porridge was never made. Nothing they did seemed to work. Each time they failed, their frustration grew. Whenever Adana walked into the village square, radiant and smiling, the cowries in her hair would glimmer as if they were alive. Some villagers even claimed they heard faint voices whispering from the braids, "Harm her not," or "Harm yourself." The girls laughed it off at first, dismissing it as village gossip, but a chilling unease soon began to gnaw at them. The cowries seemed to watch them, their polished surfaces glinting brighter whenever malice was near. Their jealousy now consumed them, and they decided on a final, dark act. One moonless night, the three girls crept into the thick bush near Adana's hut. They carried a basket woven with dark purpose, filled with sinister herbs and gnarled roots meant to cast a terrible curse upon Adana. As they neared her home, the air grew thick and cold, heavy with an unseen presence. The ground trembled slightly under their feet, and through the mud walls of the hut, they could see a faint rhythmic glow. It was the cowries on Adana's braids, pulsing softly in the dark as she slept peacefully inside. Suddenly, ghostly whispers rose from the cowries, swirling around the girls on the night air. "Turn back, turn back." The voices were ancient and cold. Chika's hand froze mid-reach for the cursed basket, and Josie, startled, stumbled over a twisted root, and her basket of herbs spilled onto the ground. The herbs began to writhe and smoke as if they were alive, and an unseen wind slammed their faces with hot sand, blinding them. Terror gripped them as a spectral figure materialized before them. It was a woman draped in shimmering river robes, her eyes deep pools of otherworldly light. It was the spirit of Adana's mother, risen from the spirit world to guard her child, just as the goddess had promised. The girls let out a unified scream of pure horror and ran blindly into the bush, thrashing through thorns and branches. When they finally emerged at the edge of the village, their hands were scorched, their hair was tangled with burrs, and the cursed herbs had burned to nothing but ash. For a week they were bedridden, pale and trembling, their bodies racked with fever and their minds haunted by the spectral vision. In their delirium, they whispered confessions of their evil plans to anyone who would listen. Soon, the time came for the festival of the new yam, a celebration of harvest and life. Adana stepped into the village square, more radiant than ever. Her wrapper gleamed with vibrant colors, her cowries clicked like a chorus of ancestral drums, and her very presence seemed to light up the village. The villagers gasped, not just at her stunning beauty, but at the calm, undeniable power that seemed to radiate from her like the sun. The three jealous girls, still weak and trembling from their night of terror, were brought before the village elders. With downcast eyes and shaking voices, they confessed everything. The petty tricks, the attempts to poison and curse, the burning envy and the dark schemes that had consumed their hearts. The elders listened gravely. Their decree was swift. The girls must atone for their deeds. They were to work the fields for Adana's family for a full season and perform offerings to the ancestors to cleanse their hearts of the darkness they had harbored. But Adana, standing before them, showed no malice or triumph. She did not curse them or demand further punishment. Instead, she spoke softly, her voice carrying across the silent square. "The spirits protected me," she said, "but no one is safe from the darkness that can grow in their own hearts. Learn from this and let your envy turn to respect." As she spoke, the cowries on her hair clicked in gentle approval, the sound echoing like a soft river song. Her words were not a condemnation, but a lesson in grace. The story became a legend in Omuela, passed down through generations. For the village, it taught a profound lesson that true beauty is more than skin and curves. It is the courage to remain kind in the face of hatred. It taught them that envy and malice are poisons that invite the wrath of the unseen and ultimately harm the one who carries them. For the three girls, their ordeal was a harsh but necessary teacher. They learned that scheming against the innocent only brings suffering upon oneself, and that humility and respect are far stronger than cruelty. For all who hear this story, it is a reminder that spiritual protection favors those who carry virtue in their hearts. The darkness of a bitter soul can never truly conquer the light of true goodness. From that day forward, the children of Omuela played under the palm trees with a new understanding, a deep respect for kindness, and every girl who braided her hair with cowries would whisper a small prayer. "Let my heart be as bright as Adana's cowries." Adana herself continued to walk through the village, a living legend. Her cowries clicked softly with each step. Her beauty remained untouched by envy. lot, and her presence was a constant, graceful reminder of courage, kindness, and the mystical power of virtue. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales from around the world. We'll see you in the next video.